Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with Jonathan from Convoy Home Loans. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Can't wait till Dustin's back with me as well.
Yeah, there you go, Dustin. And
Yeah,
he's out. Is he on his honeymoon right now?
he is. He is.
He's on his honeymoon. Well, good for
Yeah.
him. We wish him all the best. Congrats to him and his new bride. That is amazing. But Jonathan, we got to talk about the market. We're talking on a Thursday where CPI just came out. It was hot, hot, hot. I don't know if you saw it this morning. I'm sure you did. The
Yep.
10-year treasury hit like 4.06. I think it has
Oh,
since backed up a bunch. But dude, rates are going higher.
I know. It's nuts. It's nuts. And I mean the craziest part is the fact that we broke four, right? That was like a
It was
that's
always that limit, and we just went
exactly
like it
exactly
didn't exist.
exactly. Now it looks like I just looked it up. 4.07 is the high where we hit. So 4.07, that means, rates are going up. It's we're past that point now. So the 30-year mortgage-backed security is down. Like everything's on fire. However, like we always say, opportunity, right? That comes around.
Yeah, I'm trying to adopt it. Funny, it came to me yesterday. I have a feeling I'm going to be saying it for the next 6 months. Right now, we are standing in front of what I call the tree of fear. It's scary. However, I've been doing this such a long time that if you just take 6, 7 steps backwards, you can see the forest of opportunity. It's your choice. And again, I'm not here to say that rates are going down. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that higher rates means the creative investor wins, because most people will see these higher rates and do nothing. I have been marketing directly to owners with lots of equity. I am now paying them to call agents with listed properties. I am looking for deals, equity, right? So I don't slow down, I speed up, because I know that more and more investors and home buyers are going to sit down on their ass and do nothing. So what I want to talk about with Convoy, yourself, Jonathan, is just all the creative ways you can put deals together today. Because if you can find a great deal and close it, it gets better whenever you could put different rate structures in place. So I know you have these you allow silent seconds and portfolio loans and helping people get out of hard money. So let's just put all this together for folks, because I want you to think creatively. And people are hearing me. I'm going hard, trying to get some creative deals done.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of creative options, the more creative you can get right now in this market is to utilize OPM more, right? Other people's money. And whether that means that you're doing a second for, let's say, a seller carried second, or whether you're doing an actual piggyback second to purchase, which is something that's always been available, but obviously it's with income. So that makes it a little more difficult. But to be able to use that, to be able to have, even if you're going to buy something potentially, maybe even as a primary residence right now, right? And if the market falls down, and while everyone else is kind of running for the hills, you might think of it as a good opportunity to move in for yourself. And if you're going to move in for yourself, we have, FHA programs with 0% down with a silent second. And, if you're talking about house hacking, that's like the true, house hacking ability to put 0% down on an FHA, not VA, FHA, and be able to buy the house, live in it, and then rent out, right? So, that's something creative that I've seen a lot more these days. Obviously, even with the higher rates, if they have the income and they can move into it and house hack, then, they can go ahead and do that. We talked about seller carried seconds. I know Stephen Dow talks about it from Velocity on your channel a lot. Us being a broker, we just have so many different options. So we have more lenders coming out to be able to offer that. And the best part about 1 to 4 unit seller carried seconds, the maximum is 90% combined loan to value, right? So a lot of what I'm seeing right now is 75%, 15% carried, 10% down.
Awesome.
So 75% loan, 15% down, 10% or 15% seller carried second, 10% down, which means that a lot of how I'm telling people how to present it to sellers is, look, you're getting 85% of your money up front, and you have a vested interest in the 15% that you're going to hold on to within the property. So if I ever go for broke, then you can take it, right? You have that equity portion built in. So that's kind of how I'm coaching clients to present it to sellers. And it's actually been working a lot because
Mhm.
obviously getting 85% of your money up front is kind of a big allure for them,
Right.
just because they don't have to then wait for the rest of the money to come in. That pays off whatever loan they have. And then it also gives them the cash to be able to do something with immediately. So that's been big lately. And then also these days, more than ever, it may make sense to package properties together into like a blanket portfolio loan.
Mhm.
So what I mean by that is obviously up until this point, it was probably more advantageous to do individually collateralized assets, right? That's what a mortgage is for one loan for one property. However, now, with the market where it is, the spread between even these blanket portfolio loans, that are, let's say, 5 to 10 properties wrapped into one loan versus just an individually collateralized asset is going to be smaller. So the reason why these days it seems like it's more creative and a better advantage to take advantage of, let's say, 5 properties worth $500,000 in one, portfolio, is because then you're only paying for closing costs once. You're only paying for the appraisals, all of that once. Everything is going to be happen at one time in one package instead of having to do 5 separate loans,
Mhm.
right? So it takes away kind of the headache of, each individual loan taking, let's say, 30, 35, 40 days. You're packaging up them as one. That means that you will receive a loan for all 5 properties as one loan. So let's say it's $500,000 is the total valuation of it. The loan amount is $500,000. Then you have $500,000. That means each property is $100,000 loan minimum packaged together to be one loan. So the reason that plays into a lot of favor, again, like I said, is it's one having one loan to cover multiple properties allows you to have, again, one less closing cost potentially, right? And this isn't for every single time. It may not apply to every single situation.
Right.
There are still times where individually collateralized assets are better, but we're talking about smaller loans. So 5 loans for 500,000, 10 loans for $1 million, right? So smaller loans that are added together may yield better results because the banks are starting to not like smaller loans more and more.
Yeah. It's again, I've been here before. That's why I've always talked about there being a housing market cycle and a lending cycle. It's really interesting. Most people look at this environment where rates are in the sevens, maybe they're eights or nines, whatever they are. And people just think that lenders want to lend more, right? You're paying me nothing on my savings. You got fractional reserve lending. Just go print money, right? And that's not how it works. Banks are getting scared. Mortgage or I forget what they called it, but basically lending credit availability. Credit availability is at a 9-year low and going
Wow.
lower. So banks are retreating. So this is why, folks, if you are out there and you have a seller and they're working with you, you need to reach out to Convoy. Jonathan, how do you want them to do that?
Email privateclient@convoyhomeloans.com. And please let us know you're from where at.
Yeah. So what I want to talk about here, kind of closing on this, Convoy is going to be a part of 2 events that I will be a part of in Fresno, California. First, on November 12th, Dustin, your peer who's enjoying his honeymoon, is going to be up in Fresno, where we're doing a one rental at a time event. He will be on stage at some point talking about lending and all of these different practices. It is the time to get creative. It is the time to find motivated sellers who are willing to have some skin in the game, meaning a second, if not a first, right? If not, if I have a lender out there, trust me, Jonathan, that wants to give me 90% LTV at 2%, I'm going to go to the seller, not you. I hope you're not
Yeah.
offended.
No,
Yeah, of course
I'd
not,
be
right?
mad if he came to me.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing, silly?
Yeah.
So again, this is the time to do the work, folks. I'm spending real money. You've seen my cards. I have them right here, right? Now I'm paying somebody to make phone calls to active listings. So the deals are out there. You just got to do the work. You got to believe. And then on the 19th, if you're coming to the event with Pace and Jamil, the creative of creative, the sub 2 gurus, you're actually going to meet Jonathan. Jonathan is put it on his calendar. He will be there. So make sure you come say hi, take a picture with him. But again, I keep telling people, get away from the tree of fear. There's a forest of opportunity. The people that do the work, prepare, get creative, communicate. One of the things that I really think people are not hearing yet, and I have to do a better job, Jonathan, is you have to talk to the seller. What do they want? What do they need? Can you create that win-win? For 2 years, Jonathan, we've been lazy. It's been cash and quick. You didn't have to talk, right? Here's my number, go. Here's my number, go. Now it's, hey, you need to sell. No one's out there. Crickets. You got to get to your kids in Texas. Well, maybe I can help you. What about a payment? Da, 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 da. So they just got to talk with more lenders. They got to talk with sellers. Follow up, follow up, follow up. And again, if you have a lender, I think they need to call or reach out to Convoy to figure out which program, because you guys offer so many options that we can't cover in one short show. So one more time, Jonathan, where can they find you?
Email private client at convoyhomeloans.com, and please let us know that you're from Orat. And to your point, Mike, I mean, we do have so many products, right? It's like a lot of times we forget until we go back and we're like, oh shoot, how about we got to try this too? So just reach out to it and talk to us. So we, you know, a lot of times on the phone while we're talking, I'll go through different programs and be like, oh no, this one might actually work better. So reach out to us.
Yeah, private client at convoyhomeloans.com. Let them know
Correct.
you came from ORAD, and you get Jonathan or Dustin, the guys, the man at the top of the pyramid. They will take care of you. And again, if you're in a deal where you are actually getting the seller to talk about maybe taking a second, you got to reach out to Convoy ASAP, because again, these guys will tell you which product can help. And then you can calculate your yield, then you can get your deal structure, then you can calculate blended rate, all of these amazing things. Why am I going to sellers? Because I plan to get blended rates below 5%. Yes, Convoy might charge me 8, 9, but if I get the seller to take 40% back at 2% or 1%, my blended rate on total debt will be sub 5. That's a win. That's amazing. Jonathan, thank you for your time.
Thanks so much.
Mm-hmm.